The Exchange on Deep Dive.
It is Capital Talk 100.4 FM, and the Deep Dive keeps you informed with insight, comprehensive critique, and important conversations, just like the one that we are about to get into. Now we want to talk about skin lightening, the health risks, as well as body enhancement. Via certain drugs, concoctions that people are taking. And it's a very important case that we need to talk about. And to guide us and just to navigate, we will be joined by Head of Licensing and Enforcement with the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, MCAS, Caroline Samatanga. Now, we'll be getting into this conversation, and you might be interested to know that skin bleaching was actually declared earlier this year by the World Health Organization as a public health concern because all the products that I use do pose grave health dangers to the users, and that will be our point of departure.
We calculate. 8. We elevate. 8. We innovate. But above all, we dominate. Capital Talk 100.4 FM at 8. Harari's heartbeat. #dominate.
The Exchange on the Deep Dive.
Now, joining me in the conversation is Head of Licensing and Enforcement with the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, Caroline Samatanga. Caroline, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're well.
Good evening, Ruby. It's always a pleasure to be on Capital. How are you today?
I'm good. Just a bit cold. But I'm sure I'll survive. Yeah, I'm trying to stay warm. Caroline, we're always so happy to have you on our programs, shedding light and giving clarity and information to our listeners and citizens of Zimbabwe. This evening, we wanted to take a look at issues of skin bleaching and body enhancement, which is actually a crisis, and the World Health Organization has actually called skin bleaching a public health concern. And also to our listeners, you'd be interested to note that our sister publication in March of this year did a survey, and it showed that 31.1% of women in Zimbabwe are using skin lightening products of all kinds, despite some of the regulations that we'll be getting into and harmful ingredients that Caroline will be spelling out to us this evening. So to start us off, Carol, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about the role that the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe plays when it comes to medicines in general, but particularly skin lightening and body enhancing treatments.
Yes, thank you, Rumbi. The Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe is I would say it's a statutory body that was established by Parliament through the law to make sure that all medicines and medical devices that go to the public are safe, they are effective, and they are of good quality. So we do this by evaluating and assessing each product before it goes onto the market for safety. We also go through the manufacturing processes to check the quality aspects and want to know that is it effective for what it's claiming to be doing. So in that, we also maybe center on rational use of medicines to zero in onto the subject matter for today. We also look at rational use of medicines, that are they in the right channel, licensed premises where medicines are distributed from, and the professionals that are handling them. So in short, I can say that's what the MCA is about.
So you're regulating use of all medicines, you test it, just to make sure that it's safe. And I understand that the overriding objective there is to guarantee public safety when it comes to their health?
Definitely safety. We want to make sure that what you are taking is safe for consumption, and is it working for the condition that you have? That's correct.
Let's take a look at skin lightening, for example. I know there's creams, there's all sorts of products. How are they classified according to your classifications and the act that guides the operations of the association? Of the council, I beg your pardon, yes.
Yes. So in short, I would say that we don't have skin lightening as a medical condition. It is actually changing the physiological state of your body, which we have seen to be practiced as an abuse to the actual conventional use of the medicine. So we can't really say that skin lighteners are this, but we have seen and learned that people are actually getting to an extent of self-injecting some products like containing harmful substances like glucosamine that they are injecting into their bodies, which is quite dangerous. But that is not the indication of why they were created. So I would not say that we have skin lightening as a medical condition. Kana uri mutema uri mutema zvakatonaka zvakadaro. Kana uri mutsvuku tinozviyemura. Yeah.
But you're hearing this statistic, Carol. It talks about 31.1% of Zimbabwean women using skin lightening or bleaching, as it has been called now, the process of lightening your skin. 31.1%. And in Africa, Nigeria has a staggering 77% of women using skin lightening products, despite everything you've said about some of the dangers. So let's get into them. What is so harmful about skin lighteners, and why should they not be used?
So naturally, when your body is formed, it is created mostly as a defense. You are created with a defense from the sun. You are also created for defense from diseases. So if you change the natural makeup of how you are made, it has to be done in a medical or controlled environment where we know that we have ahead across the globe people changing who they are, their physiological state. That comes with some disadvantages because now you are changing what God has chosen you to be, which is not very in the best of your skin or the reason why it was created like that. We generally as medical professionals would not encourage people to change the natural physiological state. But out of preference, we would say that if you have to, then it has to be under strict medical conditions and prescribed the right people. I think that's how to sum it up. In as much as we appreciate what is happening in the statistics, what is happening in Nigeria and Zimbabwe, across the globe.
Yeah, and just looking at the African statistics, it is very, very scary. What are some of the active ingredients in these skin lightening, skin toning, skin whitening substances, and is it harmful? I understand there's hydroquinone, corticosteroids, and mercury sometimes actually found in these creams or oils or solutions. There's so much now. People are just being so inventive. But talk to us about the harmful ingredients in there: hydroquinone, corticosteroids, and mercury. What could this do to me if I put it on my skin or ingest it?
Yeah, so we have learned that people use things like steroids. Some actually use, like you've said, hydroquinone, which in our legislation actually removed from the list of things that we should see on the market. We've also learned that people are using things like glutathione. People go into. You'll be surprised the places they go for those injections. The procedure itself is not what we would expect human beings to go through. We put energy to make sure that the products are of good quality. So all those products, we have sent in a circular, which is available on our website, with some of the side effects that have been skin, including cancers, including some effects to the skin itself, where you can actually experience harmful effects like heart diseases. You can even experience liver problems. So many things, even the kidneys can be affected in the process. So you are fighting to deal with one physiological process while you damage the rest of the body. So all those can happen. Even when we take normal medicines, we restrict to the dose of what they are taking, but you'll be shocked the amount of what is being consumed by the. So in essence, we are saying this is uncontrolled and is being used in high doses that we don't normally take under normal circumstances. So many things are happening. The liver, the kidney, the skin itself, cancers are coming up due to these medicines that people are taking irrationally for skin lightening or body enhancement.
Definitely, I like the word you use there, irrationally, because I'm also still trying to find my way around it. And we will also, in the course of the conversation, touch on maybe the deeply rooted colorism, and some even go to neoliberalism and why it's causing women to want to change their skin. So let's move into the body enhancements. Are these regulated? Is it allowable for someone to actually sell body enhancing medication, pills, ointments, or however they may present in Zimbabwe? Do you regulate that as well?
Yeah, so for enhancement, we've seen that sometimes they are trying to enlarge a certain part, again, a physiological change. Some are actually trying to be slimmer and then take maybe diabetes medicines for another reason. So you see, what we in our learn that these medicines were specifically reserved for medical conditions. Like, for example, I've given an example of diabetes, but now someone who is not diabetic is taking something just as a slimming tablet or as enhancing their body to have more heat. I've seen people talk about using some antihistamines to actually enhance the heat, the body. So many things happening out there, but it is scary. It is not the indication to which these medicines are meant to say. So, like I say, it's still irrational use of medicines. There's no indication to say we have this medicine to enhance a body like this. Normally, there should be surgical procedures that, if you choose to, it is done under strict medical care, and you are given the correct doses. But like we said, for the skin lightness, the same happens again with the body enhancement tablets, and most of the time the intentions are more physical appearance, which are not considering the rest of what we consider when we register a medicine for specific use, including the safety on the heart, the safety on the liver, the kidneys. How is this going to interact with the rest of the body? So you see, this is where we come back again and say, yes, you want to have this, but not with medicines. Medicines are actual poisons that you are just taking and consuming without considering the effects on the other parts of the body.
Yeah, Kisa, indeed, just to achieve a lighter pigment. I'm also thinking, you did talk about, an elective procedure. Say if I want to have plastic surgery, I want to have a BBL, as long as it's being done under strict medical condition, conditions and regulations, then that becomes a totally different case altogether. And since you brought it up, I'm just wondering, do we have any laws around that currently? The elective surgery that's done by a qualified doctor, plastic surgery of sorts. Is that also within the purview of the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe?
No, this would then become a practice issue where a medical practitioner who is qualified to do. I know dermatologists, sometimes you have a medical condition with your skin and they are trying to change something so that at least you feel confident about yourself. They can be allowed by their practice to care. But I'm not very familiar. It's not within our purview. This is where we then say where they use medicine, that we ensure they get good quality medicines to use under those circumstances. So this is a medical practitioner's practice, which they can be allowed to do under certain conditions.
Quite clear there. Thank you so much for that clarity. To our listeners, if you're just joining us this evening, we are looking at skin lightening creams, body enhancements. What are the laws around this? And we are speaking to a head of licensing and enforcement with the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe, who is Caroline Samatanga, saying very strictly, there is no health benefit whatsoever, and as such, moving on, Caroline, I'm just wanting to know, what is criminalized? Is it me manufacturing it, me selling it without a license, or using the products?
You are selling it, you have to be licensed to sell a medicine. So medicines can't be sold from home, can't be sold from premises that have not been inspected or confirmed to be suitable for distribution of medicine. So if you are talking about manufacturing, we want to know where is it manufactured, by who, and what are the processes. And if you are distributing, you have to be a licensed distributor who holds a distribution permit. If you are selling in a retail, you also have to be doing that from a licensed premises, which could be a pharmacy or clinics that have been inspected to be suitable for keeping medicines. And for consumption, it has to be under strict prescription that has been issued by a doctor, not just distribution from any places that we're starting to see now with people selling medicine from everywhere. That is illegal and should not be. I think it should stop because, and also the public should know that this kind of premises, as long as the MCAZ has not put a seal for them to proceed, should not distribute or sell medicine to the public.
Do we have cases of perhaps a registered institution, it's a pharmacy, stocking skin lightening products? If I find them in the pharmacy, does it mean they're safe for me to use?
They would not necessarily come in a skin lightening product. In the pharmacy, they already know that this should be supplied on a prescription. And like I've said, we don't have such a category which we call skin lightening condition or a medicine that is specifically made for that. So you will not find in the pharmacy. And should you find, and then you can let us know to investigate under what circumstances that is happening.
Really important there. So if you are seeing, I might have to contact, speak to you on the sidelines, because I've been to a number of pharmacies and you find certain products and, they actually for skin lightening in the pharmacy. So definitely, I think a cause for concern and need for escalation, as you say. And in terms of, the penalties, what penalties does one face for selling skin lightening creams or having them within their establishment without licensing from the MCAZ?
So we have different levels of contraventions in our provisions, but most of the time they come in as unregistered products. So the sale of unregistered products, what we say, is prohibited according to Section 29 of our Act. So we will charge one under that section on sale of unregistered medicines, and sometimes it's then compounded and combined with other contraventions, which is probably selling from unlicensed premises as well, sale by unlicensed. So you could have 3 or 4 offenses combined, which can result maybe in prosecution or something as high as level 12 or to 14, like that, and then it's taken through the court.
And a level 12 fine is not something to play with.
Yes, one of the I think the highest would come to around level 14. It's got different levels, so sometimes it's compounded by how many issues we are facing here. You could have 1 count, 2 counts, 3 counts, depending on the circumstance.
So be warned, members of the public. Be willing to part with as much as $5,000 in fines, between $2,000 and $5,000 if you are found wanting. We did talk about, and I think I also saw a circular or a memo that was issued by the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe earlier in the year, looking at a new marketplace for these products, which is social media, with testimonials, people saying, use this oil, use this, use that, look at my skin, this is what has happened, and so forth. How is the social media space being regulated, and what is your stance on the increased sale of these products online, on social media, on WhatsApp, using various forums?
Yes, we can agree that social media has taken us by surprise. A lot of changes have happened, and now the global village is so connected. In split seconds, message just goes out there. So that is why now we are coming out to the public to say that a lot of people are trying to survive in so many different ways. You'll be surprised. So we've seen in WhatsApp, social media, but most of the social media lines, we have control in the sense that if we report, maybe say to WhatsApp, even to Facebook, on how someone is advertising a medicine illegally, we receive good attention and feedback on that. And we also have been sending standard warnings to individuals and groups that are advertising illegally. And I would say we seem to have a good understanding where the regulator is now out there also making it known to the public that anything that is advertised has to be approved by the MCAZ. We've sent out where we have serious issues, we identify them and notify the public to be aware of such illegal activities. What tends to happen is that even where a product is registered, when they advertise, they make serious claims where something was just registered as a supplement. It's a complementary medicine. And now when they advertise, then they make serious claims to add more conditions that this product is not necessarily treating. So that is what has been happening more often than not. But we continue to urge the public to be conscious, especially where a product is claimed to treat 10 conditions. Guys, that is not acceptable. Even in, I think you have not seen one medicine that treats 20 conditions.
A cure for all.
Cure for all. That should be a red flag that this doesn't just sit well with anybody to say, how can you be a wonder drug treating cancer, diabetes, TB, malaria? Impossible. So we continue to conscientize the public, and we also are thankful to people like Capital who give us the audience to the public and conscientize them. And again, in our social medias, we are trying to reach out to advise the public to be wary of such claims that are unsubstantiated and too much to imagine something like that.
And you wear the hat, that looks at all the licensing and enforcement in Zimbabwe. When it comes to enforcement, talk to us about that. Maybe how enforcement is being done, and perhaps a look into some of the stakeholders that you are working in tandem with when it comes to infractions of the sale of these products, skin lightening and body enhancers.
So we are working with key stakeholders, and we've actually signed important MOUs with most of these agencies, where we have the first and foremost the ZIMRA coming in the port controls, where these products are coming in. They come across them, where they are our eyes, where we are not, especially at the borders. So we train them regularly, and now I can say positively that we are seeing the fruits of such engagements, where if we work with ZIMRA, they are aware that if they see a medicine, then they can contact the regulator. The public is also aware. and the port health officials as well, are part of whom we work with for the controls at the port. And then we are also working with the police. Now we have a team dedicated to just waking up every day to check in the police to see what is happening on the ground. So we move around across the whole country to do enforcement activities. We do some blitz, target hotspots. We know some areas across the country, some borders are quite porous and things happen. Individuals bring in small bags and try to survive under such illegal activities. And so we work with the police, and now we have reached out even to the National Prosecuting Authority, to the Judiciary Service Commission. We are now good friends. We communicate regularly to train and communicate the dangers of using medicine. So I would say that we have good working relations with most of the key partners when it comes to the control. And we also joined the task force that is working on drug and substance abuse. So there is a lot that is happening behind the scenes in terms of medicines regulation and control to also deal with drug and substance abuse.
Good to hear that there are many collaborations and boots on the ground to ensure safety, and that everyone is aware of the dangers of bringing in some of these products. You also talked about raising awareness. Have you done any targeted campaigns, health education to members of the public, just to let them know how dangerous it could be, the detrimental effects of skin bleaching, and also just to improve, health-seeking behavior in the citizens of Zimbabwe?
Yes, we have done a few so far where we are targeting the youth. We've been invited also in key youth activities where we also pitch our stand to talk to the youngsters whom we think are also the most affected to conditions and unaware they may easily be swayed to skin lightening, body enhancement, drug and substance abuse. So we have been targeting also the schools, and sometimes we talk to them, sometimes they also visit. We allow them to visit our places to talk about these issues. And now we have a standing PR unit in our institution who is reaching out in the places where we find them the most, in social media. I think very soon we'll be moving to TikTok where we find all of them, just to conscientize. We've even been able to to engage some of our socialites who have been helping us to put out the message out there to the people. So I would say work is in progress, and we take any contributions that the public may feel would be the best way to go around some of these issues.
Indeed, and there was a regional fact sheet that was compiled by the Africa Health Observatory under the World Health Organization, and some of the figures that I was sharing with our listeners and with yourself are derived from that fact sheet. Now, it gets interesting because just reading from some of the issues that are raised, the motives or motivations behind skin bleaching are said to be diverse. Respondents in the survey talked about what we also talked about: wanting to look attractive, following fashion trends, enjoying lighter skin, etc. So this underlines deep psychological motivation here when it comes to this. So it suggests that there needs to be something else done on a psychological level. And the report also mentioned this. How can we take the findings of the report and localize them here, particularly those psychological aspects, those issues of self-esteem, and even going back to colorism, which is something that came out from colonization. So what can we do? Tishitarisa nawo yacho kuti munhu anenge asingatofari nezvaari. And a lot of people, 60% of the respondents were unsure of the active ingredients in the product, and actually 50% did not get a good result. It didn't go well. Vakatosarani skin yakashata. So let's look at it from that perspective. How can we as Zimbabweans start to understand the danger of skin lightening?
Right. So we pride ourselves in one of our values, continuous improvement. Also, teamwork is one of them. So I believe that this will be a one-man band, but rather a multi-stakeholder approach is required. We have experts in the country who can deal best with psychological issues, who can also deal with that can really target and open with such groups contribute for the area of expertise, medicine, the effects, but again contributing to the aspect. So I think through the task force that are coming through, we can contribute and work together with other key stakeholders whom, if they can hear us now, can also shout to point to how we can contribute to this bigger problem we are facing.
Indeed, yeah, identity issues. There are so many. And even, the report also goes on to say that 20% of people who wanted to lighten their skin talked about social benefits, improved marriage prospects, better job opportunities. So lighter people get jobs and they get married, apparently.
Maybe true, but about that is more of a more concerted effort as the country reaching out and collaborating to deal with this.
We are going to receive. Sorry. Go ahead. We lost you there. Please continue.
Oh yes. I was saying this where you're looking at the root cause of why we have this problem. It will test around that. Why everyone look at the root cause.
Root cause analysis, and we need to then get to the problem at the heart. Our phone lines, if you'd like to take part in the conversations, are 0772 269 229, 0772 269 241. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on 0719 100 404, and we'd love to hear from you. I've already received a message here from PK. Good evening, PK, who says, is there a healthy way to lighten your skin?
Sorry, I missed a little bit of that. If you can go again.
The listener is asking if there is a healthy way to lighten your skin. So they say, is there a healthy way to skin lighten?
Not quite. Like we've said, it has to be done through medical supervision. It can't be through medicine. It has to be medically prescribed.
And even then, it might not be healthy. You are just aware. Wakanaka wakadaro. I like that. We are going to take a call here. Let's hear who we've got on the line. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Have you ever thought about skin lightening? What are your thoughts on what we're discussing?
I just think that the word freedom in Africa over prescribed.
Okay. So all right. Go ahead.
Yes, in the sense that when unfortunately freedom is having yash, having the shoes, is doing whatever that we grew up not having. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So I just believe that, like, I was talking to my friends about that in our comporting spirituality. Guys, when I am a comporting, we find none, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, why, guys, I mean, our African women will appreciate what you have. Growing up makes you realize that it's not even about nyash or whatever. It's about
There's something deeper. Okay, I like that. Thank you so much for your contribution. Saka kukura kwakanaka nai.
Growing up is very important. I feel like these amateur kids are having people getting pressure. And so you're having people in their 50s doing some crazy things going on. But I feel like if you're in your 50s, you get a good person. There's no problem. People will love you for who you are.
Yeah, not what you look like. I like that. Getting deeper with it. Yeah, thanks so much for that contribution. Carol, any comments to that one?
Very interesting.
Indeed.
Got the hang of it.
Yeah.
Wakanaka wakadaro, like you say. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Thanks so much to our caller. We've got another message coming in on our WhatsApp platform. This one says, hi, Rumbi, greetings to Caroline. And this is from Zinam Shonga, who says, health shops are accused of selling these products. How true is that? And what is the authority doing about regulating such?
Yes, so thank you for that, Zinam Shonga. Health shops would be licensed shops that are selling medicine. Yes, we have seen quite an increase in where shops would pretend to be selling maybe cosmetics, but in the guise they then sell other products and go to extreme extents that we can't imagine. So we have enhanced our enforcement team. We have actually added a few more officers to focus on this particular issue. It was coming quite often in our surveys when we were asking the public, also as key stakeholders like the pharmacists, like what Zinam Shonga says. So we got that feedback, and in our strategy, we have come up with a
Caroline, are you still there? Hello? You are listening to Capi Talk 100.4 FM, and we were talking there to Caroline Samatanga. We just lost her there as we were about to get to, the heart of the conversation and wind up. But one thing is for sure, and even gleaning from this fact sheet report that was taken from all across Africa, 31.1% of Zimbabwean women are using skin bleaching and lightening products despite knowing that it could be harmful. And looking at the larger African context, 77% of Nigerian women are lightening their skin. Other African nations like Congo, Brazzaville show 66% of women using skin lightening products, followed by Senegal with 50%, Ghana with 39%, 32% in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and then 25% in Mali. So it is really quite worrisome. The active ingredients, it's corticosteroids, hydroquinone, mercury, or any other agents, and it really is very harmful. It's common, but it is still very harmful. And understanding the potential risks with skin bleaching seems not to be stopping people from engaging in this behavior. And really take a moment, look at yourself, love yourself for who you are, before you let the psychological motivation take over, because this is outweighing the risk. And shockingly, almost 50% of those who are using skin lightening, who are reported and made their views known in the report, said it didn't go smoothly and that they did not end up with healthy skin. So this data is quite compelling, and it's further showing that persons aged between 30 and under had the highest prevalence of skin bleaching at 55.9%, followed by those aged between 31 and 49 at 25.9%. And the majority of people using these products don't even know anything about the active ingredients in their products. Now, the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe has made it clear in this show and in their past warnings and press statements, as well as memos, the use of skin whitening, skin brightening, skin bleaching products is not allowed. They're not tested and they're not approved. There are also oral and injectable vitamins. And again, this is even scarier as it continues to expose young women and men to these health risks. It is a very, very worrisome. And when you think of mercury and kutongoisa zvakupa skin pako, please do take heed and take care of yourself, and don't bleach, don't use skin brightening, skin lightening creams. They will hurt your health. They're dangerous. The active ingredients are not good for human health, and many of them have actually been discontinued from any other medicines. But here you are applying it without even knowing what will happen next. So let's come together and let's spread the word on this one. Stop bleaching, as it is very bad for your health. Thanks so much to Caroline Samatanga and to you for all your engagement throughout this conversation. It is 8 o'clock. It's time for the news.